Hey guys, this is Thomas Brown, and welcome to the Thomas Vision Podcast. I'm a filmmaker currently based in Atlanta, and this podcast consists of conversations with the professionals I meet along the way.
What's up, guys? Torrin Langford here with Exquisite Sounds Entertainment today, and I am here with
Don't show up
Thomas
as you're a DJ.
Vision Films, everybody, and we are back with another episode of the podcast, which we are recording and filming as well. So we hope you're watching it on YouTube, and we hope you're listening wherever you subscribe to the podcast.
What's going on, guys? Thomas Brown here with the Thomas Vision Podcast. We have Torrin Langford back with us of Exquisite Sound Entertainment. If you guys don't already know, he's one of the top wedding DJs, wedding event DJs on the planet in Atlanta.
The planet is a stretch, but Atlanta, definitely. But
Atlanta.
you got to start somewhere.
Atlanta.
You got to start somewhere. So I'll take it.
Today, what's our topic today? Our topic today.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
Is a really good one.
It
It is how to market
Yes.
your wedding business.
That's right. This is definitely one of my favorite topics that we've discussed on the podcast. So I appreciate you having me back. I always said if I went back to school that I would go back for marketing. Actually.
Marketing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I actually would go back for that.
But you're really good at
I
marketing.
enjoy marketing. I enjoy
you-
marketing. Yeah, I do enjoy marketing.
A lot of I want to start with something that I had to make sure my shirt wasn't inside out. Sorry, what's that?
Okay,
I thought my shirt was inside out. I'm not sure.
All right.
That was random.
It's okay. It's
Yeah,
Wednesday.
yeah.
Inside Out Wednesday. It's okay.
So I really want to start with most people when they come into the wedding business, the first way they kind of market themselves, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it, is Wedding Wire and like The Knot.
Yeah.
Or those type
Or
of
some site like that, or Perfect Wedding
Yeah.
Guide, or something like that. Yeah.
some site like that. So I want to talk about that first, and I also want to talk about shows as
Okay.
well.
Like wedding shows.
Yeah, wedding
Okay,
shows.
all right.
That's
Expos
another
in
way.
some
Expos,
markets,
yeah,
okay, all
that
right.
people market themselves.
Mhm.
And I
Now you don't do wedding
I don't
shows,
do shows,
right?
Yeah, I don't do shows, and that's one of the
This
the
guy.
ways that I wanted to talk about. But my whole point is because you do shows.
I do. We do a lot of them.
And they work for you sometimes.
Sometimes,
Right?
Most
And,
times.
and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about those, because I wanted to say I don't even do those sites. And
So you don't do like Wedding Wire or The Knot or anything?
no,
Oh wow, that's pretty impressive.
but my whole point is that there's so many different ways, because
Yeah.
I don't do them,
Yeah.
and I still get weddings.
Yeah.
I still
Well, you do
market
phenomenal
myself.
work too, Thomas.
No,
so
well,
that
no.
helps.
Let me tell you, for the episodes we've done so far, you've been giving me so many kudos. I'm trying my best to
Yeah.
get better
Yeah.
and give my clients a really, nice product. So I'm not as good as Torrin says, but I do appreciate it.
I think you're good, Thomas.
Yeah,
so I'm
I
gonna go with
appreciate
that.
it. I
All right.
appreciate it. My whole point is there's lots of different ways to do it, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's talk about Wedding Wire and The Knot. So I did do them when I first started. When I first started year one, and I really think it's different now. I'm not sure if they work this well anymore. You can tell me. I'm not sure if you still do. You do?
Yeah,
either one?
we still subscribe to both actually.
To both.
We do.
Well, let me tell you what it did for me year
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
So was it year one or year two? It was either year one or year two, but either way, whichever year it was, I know I had when I started Wedding Wire, I think I did Wedding Wire first. I didn't have one wedding yet. And then I finally got my first wedding, and I put it on there, and that's when I started getting some traction. But then, like probably after a month of doing Wedding Wire, I did 3 sites at the same time. I just bit the bullet, so I'm gonna do 3 sites. I did The Knot, I did Wedding Wire, and I did the one that Martha Stewart just they kind of merged last year.
That
was mywedding.com.
Yeah,
I think it was
it's like
mywedding.com.
something like that. But
Yeah.
they're affiliated with. They were affiliated with Wedding Wire for a while.
Were they? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I
now
think
now they're all the same.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that.
The
but
Knot
yeah.
and Wedding Wire
So
mix or
I
merged?
can't remember. It was the one of them bought the other one. I cannot
Okay.
remember. But
It's probably
this
The Knot.
recent- This is
It
like
was probably The Knot, because The Knot used to always get way more views. 'Cause I used to look at, because I was a recruiter and a YouTuber, I'm really into stats and statistics, so I would look. But whatever year it was, like I said, I can't really remember. I can look back in my emails and see. But it was either my first year or second year. I got all 3 after a while, after I got my first wedding, and the Knot got me 21 weddings.
Wow, really?
That year.
Jeez, that's a
and
lot.
Wedding Wire got me 7.
Yeah, wow.
So after that, I left Wedding Wire and I just
straight
rocked
for
with
the
the Knot.
Yeah.
And the Knot had worked with me until I got to a certain price range.
Yeah.
And then I stopped getting weddings through there.
Mm-hmm.
So what has been your experience with working with like the wedding websites? I kind of want to start with that and then we'll go to the shows.
So I mean, I have done, man. So I mean, I've done we've done Wedding Wire, we've done the Knot, we've done Borrowed in Blue.
Okay.
I believe was another one that we did for a while. Perfect Wedding Guy kind of has a similar, or they did for a while, kind of a similar situation with that. So we've done those. And also David's Bridal.
Do they?
Yeah,
Okay.
David's Bridal. Yeah, we also did David's Bridal very early on. That's a pretty funny story. Yeah, so we've done those like 5. I think the 2 big ones. Obviously,
You can't say it's a funny story and not tell us a funny story.
Man, it's just a backstory, man. It's just a backstory. But it's a funny. We basically got kicked out of David's Bridal, thanks to somebody else who will remain nameless, but they will never admit to it. But like, yeah, they ended up getting us kicked out. But yeah, the Knot and Wedding Wire, historically, have been the 2 biggest ones. I think to your point,
I'm so sorry. I just need to know this David Bridal story now. You don't have to say who the person is, but I just need to know. I'm sure people are listening and they're like, I want to know this David Bridal story.
It was all a leads game, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's all about leads. Like David's Bridal worked a lot, like kind of like the shows which we were going to talk about, where you're getting leads. And if you think about it, David's Bridal,
like for people who come through David's Bridal, they make a
anybody
book.
who
I've done that
registered,
before with
you know what I'm
Anya
saying?
Bridal.
Exactly. It was the exact same program.
Okay.
So we were kind of in that program, and on the back end, we were kind of affiliated with some other folks, and some other folks took advantage of the list, and because they took advantage of the list, we ended up getting kicked out because we were the contract holder, essentially. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the funny part is that person just never ever admits that they
ones.
messed up. You know what I'm saying?
We talked about that now thing and being able to say you're wrong in another episode.
We did
remember?
talk about that, and she has never said she was wrong. But it's all good.
It's all good. Okay.
But yeah, Wedding Wire and the Knot, I think to your point, and I think I've definitely experienced this in the past probably 2 years, definitely, that I feel like the leads that we get from them, like I don't want
like
to
a
say
David's Bridal or something, or or
just,
like the Knot.
You get more of the people that are just kind of kicking the tires, doing the research.
Yeah, and that,
they don't.
You're absolutely right.
I don't want to say they don't know what they want, but like they need more. They need more guidance now, as opposed to you who said, "Hey, listen, I'm gonna jump off those sites." We have remained because we had, for one, like with Wedding Wire. I think like right now, I think we have like. I think I looked yesterday. I think we have maybe like 168 reviews there, which. Not a lot, but it's a lot for a company of our size thus far.
No, I think that's really good.
So so we've got those, and most of the planners that I know that use either one of those always have said that the Knot was better. So last year I was like, well, hey, I always had a free account there somehow. I don't know how, but we started to get a paid account.
Yeah.
I think I cannot tell you with certainty that we booked anything through the Knot, but I do feel that the leads that we had come through the Knot this year were far better than Wedding Wire.
Yeah.
Like it was a much more serious conversation.
Yeah. And let's do this, since I'm not sure if we're probably about like 3 minutes into the conversation or not for the video. If you just wanted to come in and get some information, let me just go over a kind of quick overview of all the ways I currently know and we currently know of to get it, and then we'll kind of dive into each one a little bit more.
Ways or something like that.
So basically, you have the wedding websites like the Knot, Wedding Wire.
Right.
You have the kind of brick and mortar places like the bridal
stores,
boutiques, and and like David's Bridal, Anya
tuxedo
Bridal,
shops,
tuxedo shops, and wedding gown shops where you become affiliated with them by either paying them a monthly fee, or like in my instance, I would like have to film different events for them, and then you get this list every month with leads of people who come in and sign into the store. You have social media like Facebook,
huge,
Instagram, YouTube, whatever social media, Twitter, whatever social media platform that you use. And we're going to talk about all this more in depth. You have blogs, writing blogs, your website.
Yeah.
You know, we'll talk about that.
Well, you got to have your website.
Yeah, you have to have your website.
Make sure you got a website of some sort, right?
Yeah. And I really do believe you should be on every social media, even if you don't post strictly. I believe you should have an account just so other vendors can tag you.
That's not a. I think we could dive into that.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that.
Yeah,
I like
just so
that.
you can be tagged.
And
then so people can get to your website.
That's a good point.
But I got rid of Facebook a few weeks ago.
Did you?
For that, and a planner today was just trying to tag me.
Yeah,
and said, Thomas, I cannot find your Facebook. So we'll dive. We can dive into why I got rid of Facebook.
You gotta have a Facebook.
Yeah.
It's almost like having a website.
No,
you don't think so?
No. Yes, you should. I had Facebook for a long time. I got rid of it. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we got to dive into that.
All right. Well, I got rid of mine.
Teach
I'm not
me.
saying you should
Teach
get rid
me,
of
sir.
No.
Teach me.
We'll dive into my reason. What else
media.
is there?
So
we got social media.
We got the brick and mortar,
wedding websites,
the shows. Obviously, you
the
got
shows, bridal shows.
Big thing that we talked about previously, networking. You know, networking that's huge. That's huge. What else? What other ways?
Did we say referrals yet? Because that's kind of what networking, I guess.
Yeah, referrals.
But referrals with family and things, you got to tell people.
Yeah, you got to tell people
about what you're doing.
Gotta tell people what you're doing. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but I mean, it goes a lot deeper, and that's why I wanted to talk about this in a podcast, and maybe I will do on my other channel like 10 quick ways to market yourself. But I really feel that we really need to talk about each topic. There's a few more ways. Actually, I have some notes if you guys don't mind me
Thomas
looking
with
at
the notes over here.
My phone real
That's
quick.
What's up? Always prepared.
Press releases, like press release emails.
You know,
I've done that when I first started.
I've never done those in the business aspect. However, I again, a couple weeks ago, I was looking at some different ways, and I did see that mentioned.
Yeah.
And that's actually not a bad idea. Like if you think about, hey, we won an award, or we have, we're a new product offering or something like that. I think it's kind of cool. I think a lot of small businesses don't do it. I can say definitely in the wedding industry, like I don't know if I've ever received one.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Well, no, that was in our episode that we did on networking without expectations. That episode when I talked about the wedding planner who had reached out to the former wedding planner.
So I didn't get that.
A new business.
Yeah, so I didn't get that.
Yeah, that was actually a press release.
Okay.
Yeah, she had sent me.
Which makes sense. That's cool. Yeah, but I've never.
Yeah.
I've never seen that. But yeah.
So I actually did it when I first started.
Oh wow.
Just a little, and it was really simple. I made a little PDF
or something. Okay.
Yeah, about what I'm doing, how they can reach me, what the services I provided, and I sent them to family and friends.
Yeah. And
I
like that.
Not say if it worked too much, but
I like it. I like it a lot.
At least people knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
All right, and then the last one is I'm not sure if this kind of goes wedding websites, but even when you first started, like places like Craigslist and Groupon and stuff.
Book my first wedding off Craigslist. I'm not gonna lie to you, man.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
And so those places too. So that was just like a quick overview of a few things you can do. We'll probably think of some more once we're talking, but if you just came in and just wanted that kind of quick list,
there you go. There it is.
All right,
so which one are we diving into first?
All right, so we started talking about let's really go in on the wedding website.
Okay.
So why don't you use them and why don't anymore? Okay. So let's start with why to use them. So when I first started, I used them. They worked really well.
Now, just to jump in, I did hear a stat, and I don't remember the stat. I apologize, but I did hear a stat. Maybe within the past 30 days, it said that those sites are optimal. Especially if you kind of spreading your marketing dollars around, those sites are most optimal in the first 3 years of your business. Actually,
yeah.
So
that's when it worked.
Yeah,
for me when I first started. Like I said, the knot that first year I did them, I got like 21 weddings through them. But once my price got past like a certain mark as a videographer, I was just out of the price range of most people. Like you said, who were just kind of kicking in.
When we were first getting started, I remember every day I was booking something off of like Wedding Wire.
Yeah.
But price points were much, much lower. And now I can tell you now the only reason I keep those sites are for the back end SEO, right? And also because, especially with Wedding Wire, we just have too many reviews. And again, we could get...
Well, you know, Wedding Wire, I have reviews there too.
Right,
They
they'll
still
stay
see
there.
them.
They'll
Yeah.
stay there,
Mhm.
but I want people to not have to look so far for them. You know what I mean? So if you go to DJs and you're looking for a DJ, like us or whatever, I want you to see that, hey, man, we got 168 reviews there. I don't want you to have to go to page 4 to find
it.
that.
Yeah, I understand. I get that. And it's working for you. It's working. Yeah. And so, and that's one thing when you're doing anything, put your time into what works for you.
Yeah.
I see so many people like who don't have a big Facebook following, but they have like a bigger Instagram following.
Yeah.
And they're trying to put all their time into Facebook. And I'm like, but you have this
Your audience is on
established
Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah,
like me. And so we'll get into more with the Facebook thing, but I get most of my weddings now, social media wise,
through Instagram. Yeah. I would say wholeheartedly, like in the past 2 years, I haven't booked anything for anybody saying, hey, I saw you on Facebook. I think I've had a conversation in the past 6 months with one person was like, I saw you on Facebook. But anytime we get something where it's like, hey, I saw you on social media, it's Instagram.
Yeah.
So like my wife always asks me like, why are you always on Instagram? I'm like, yo, that's where the party's at.
Yeah.
That's
where the business is.
That's it. So So if you're not on Instagram and you're not actively like promoting your Instagram or figuring out how to kind of cultivate your Instagram, then I would have to say like you need to take 10, 15, an hour, whatever, and figure that out.
Well, one thing I wanted to say, one thing that I was saying about YouTube, for those of you, I'm not sure if I mentioned it in this particular episode, but before I got into weddings, I was a full-time YouTuber. I still have the YouTube channel up. I have 2 new YouTube channels, this one and another one, for you guys who are watching, Thomas Vision Vlogs and Thomas Vision Films. And it really just to build a YouTube channel or build any social media except Facebook. Like I said, I will talk about Facebook, but it just takes consistency.
Right.
Just post your work consistently. Try to post quality work consistently, and just be honest. And it's social media, so be social.
Right.
Like, don't just
good point.
Post your photos and then just leave it. Like, go to someone else's photos and leave a comment.
Yeah.
You gotta engage.
Gotta engage.
And like Torin probably likes all of my posts, and I try to go and like all of his posts and other people's posts who follow me. I actually unfollowed a lot of people and on Instagram as well, so I could just kind of network with people whose content I was really interested in.
Right.
Yeah. And but as far as growing the network, you just got to be consistent.
Right.
Some photographers tell me that they post around like 3-4 times a day, which is excessive for me because as a videographer, I don't think I have. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think I have that much content to post. That much I got to edit my videos.
That's a lot. That's a lot to post. But I mean,
yeah. But I mean, it works for them.
It works.
But for me, I post once a week on Instagram, and with one of my weddings,
on your wedding,
my wedding Instagram, I post once a week.
And how much engagement are you getting off that once a week?
I mean, for me, because and that's the thing too, you need to make a promise to your subscribers or who are your followers, so they know what to expect from you.
Okay.
So they know from me all they're gonna get, other than my Instagram stories, but on my feed, all they're gonna get is an Instagram teaser. They're going to get a teaser of a wedding, which I'm high energy teaser.
Right.
And that's what people come to expect from me.
Right,
so
right.
I get, a pretty decent likes. They're around, the 100 and 200 like mark, which is good for me. I don't have the biggest following in the world, but that's really good for me. And view wise, I think they're always around like 1,000 to 1,500 views per post. And then typically almost every time I post an Instagram teaser, I have someone reach out to me in a DM, ask me about my prices or something like that. I even have on my website, I have a drop down so people can tell me where they found me. Almost everyone puts they initially found me on Instagram, or wedding planner or something like that.
Yep.
But yeah, so those are my tips for social media. It's just be consistent, try to bring value to people who are following you, and just try to increase your quality every time. You don't have to have the best. Even if you're like a lot of wedding planners, they sometimes hire photographers to take a lot of their shots. and sometimes they're stressed out because they can't find a photographer. I'm like, hey, man, you got that. They be having the newest phones.
Fancy new phone.
Yeah, and I'm like, just use your phone sometimes just to get your stuff out there. Sometimes people be thinking too much.
Well, some people try to overdo it, and that's one thing I think with our feed. Like, we don't have like a whole bunch of followers, right? But
I think you have just much me or more, right?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's not a bunch. Like, it's not 10,000 or something like that. But I think that it's really about, like you said, what you're putting up. So I'd much rather somebody just be like, hey, I saw your stuff on Instagram or whatever. It looks good.
Yeah,
they
you
may
have
not,
engagement.
they may not follow us per se or whatever, and they may not like everything, but it's there. It's quality. I try to give people from a DJ perspective and from our brand, I try to give them like the real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't try to just put up anything, but I try to make sure that it's like, I don't try to go and overdo it to where like we can only post a video if the videographer gave it to us.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
I get it that they've got a way better camera. Kind of to your point about the planners. Like, I get it that they got a way better camera, but I'd rather just, hey, we got somebody on our team that's filming, and boom, here it is. This is the way we saw it from our perspective.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it works really well for you. People love it. They see people dancing and enjoying themselves. So I think that works really well. So that's
social media.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's social media. Right. So now I want to talk about. I want to give you guys who, and a lot of you may just be starting. So I really want to talk about wedding shows.
Yeah.
And I get this question a lot, Torin.
Well, here's my first question. How many wedding shows have you ever? How many wedding shows have you done in your years in business? How many do you think you've done total?
Okay. Well, first let me tell you, I've never paid to do a wedding show,
which is excellent.
Let me say paid to do a wedding show.
That's a real jewel. I think that you're sitting on there that you could give to people.
From recruiting, right?
Yeah.
I was really big at networking and bartering. You had to do that to get into certain doors and things like that. And so I always bartered every time. So many shows hated me when they called me because I would say, well, I will film your show for you, give you a little promo teaser, and you give me a booth. Yeah. That's how I approached it when I did it at the time. So, but you asked me the number. I probably did maybe about 15 shows that I filmed. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Maybe did 15
in Atlanta?
Shows.
Or
no, I've done shows.
You've done a couple shows out of town too, right? Okay,
Maybe about 15, maybe 10.
Wow.
10 to 15.
Really?
I've done.
Okay. I feel like you weren't going to say that, but okay.
You thought I was going to say like 4?
I thought you were going to say maybe like 4. So
totally
changed my
I think
okay,
I think I did 10 to 15 like my first 2 years. Because I mean, and that's another thing, guys. When I first started, for any videographers or photographers out there, I did a lot of free work my first 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I probably made like 20 or 30 free videos for planners and photographers and DJs my first 2 years.
You were on a tear.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Probably, maybe even more.
Actually.
Yeah, maybe even more.
Great. I loved it.
And that was kind of a way I used to network. So if you're a photographer or videographer, a way to market your business is because, and what you tell them, and this is the way I grew my first YouTube channel too. This is one of the ways. But I would do, like I did a video for Torin.
Yes, which was great, guys.
And
you can catch it on our YouTube page.
On the YouTube page and
Exclusive
website.
ENT.
Yeah.
And part of it is
plug.
on our current website.
Yeah.
It is. Yes, it is. And everybody always loves it.
But
and I send them to Thomas.
But I say, hey, I'll make this video for you. And then all I ask is that you tell people I made it and then, refer me.
Yep, that's it.
If you like the video, refer me.
Yeah.
And I did several I did videos for several wedding planners and things like that. And that's how, if you see me at a show, that's the only way I was at that show because I was making a promo.
So why don't you do them now?
Because most of the brides there, when it comes to videographers, like I said, we're normally the last to get picked a lot of times, but they don't value videography. Yeah. I just guess that's the best way to say it.
Okay.
They don't value videography.
Okay.
And so when it comes to cost, and I tell them what, and this is back when I charged way less than I charge now, but I will tell you, I would get a few, but it just didn't. The return didn't seem worth
the
my
event,
time.
yeah.
But doing those promos for the bridal shows,
Yeah.
I'll tell you the reason why I did them.
Because they're gonna forever use them.
Huh? They're gonna forever use them.
use 'em.
But then other vendors found out who I was
Right.
from seeing the promo because everybody wants to see like those planners that are there, those DJs that are there, that are photographers. They're gonna watch that promo and see, and they're hoping that they're in it, so then they can share it.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna say that video was made by Thomas Vision Films.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's how I got myself out there, and that's how I built my first YouTube channel.
Okay.
There in Atlanta. So it was a saltwater crime channel. No one's ever heard of it, but I had a really big following. I made a living through it, but there wasn't a lot of knowledge about how many aquarium stores were in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So I just said, hey, what if I just, and I had no intention of making a YouTube channel at this time. I just wanted to make videos of the stores that were in Atlanta so people would know where they were, because it was literally 2 miles from my house, and I never knew.
Okay.
And I had been in the hobby for years, so the saltwater aquarium hobby. So I went to the stores and said, hey, I'm going to make these 5 videos of the top 5 saltwater aquarium stores in Atlanta. All I ask is that you put them on your Facebook page.
Yeah.
They did it, and then that's how I got my first 400 subscribers.
Oh, wow.
Just
Okay,
from those
that's
5
cool.
videos.
That's cool.
And then it just kept growing from there. So that is one way you can build your business, is just by networking. You had something you wanted to add
I was
to the
just gonna
shows?
say, I mean, with the shows, I mean, we've done a lot of shows, obviously, over our
How do they work for you?
existence. I mean, they're, well, let me say this. I mean, at the time that we're filming this video right now, I do think there is a shift. Okay. I do think there is a shift in that a lot of people are getting away from going to shows, right? And some of the other things that we talked about as far as marketing your business, right? But I think if you're just getting into planner, photography, videography, DJ, dressmaking, whatever it is, I still think that those shows can be very, very valuable to you. We still do them. We're looking at 2019. I've got
I think when you're just starting, they're awesome.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just starting out the gate,
and videography and photography especially,
you need to be there.
Yeah,
I mean, it's your one chance to spend maybe anywhere from $500 to $1,000 and go in there and
show your personality.
Show your personality, and also just you walk out with between 200 to 800 leads.
And let's not even talk about the leads. You should walk around the show. I used to walk around.
Well, you can't. Technically, you could because you were filming. You know what I mean?
No, but I would have someone at my booth.
Right.
And so you can have someone at your booth and go meet people.
Well, yeah, you can use it for networking purposes, like we were saying earlier.
Yeah.
Boom, totally agree. But if you're just a vendor trying to figure out, hey, how do I make some money off this?
Yeah.
You can't be just all in somebody else's booth. You're not supposed to. Let's just say that.
Oh, you can't go meet people? And
you can meet them.
Yeah.
You can meet people.
And just go
but
say,
you
hey.
can't meet John and Becky getting married in somebody else's
Oh,
booth.
no.
Right,
I'm talking about meeting other vendors.
Oh, yeah, definitely meet other
Yeah,
vendors.
I'm
Definitely
just saying
other
going
vendors.
to other vendors' booths and wedding planners and say, hey,
Yeah.
I'm Thomas.
Or the other thing is what we do, because we have been I don't want to say around for so long, but because we've been around for a little while now.
Around since weddings first started.
I know, when Moses was there. but because we have done, we've been around for a few years now, it's almost guaranteed that whenever we're at any show, that we know. I would say at least 40% of the vendors.
Yeah.
So, and because we have a pretty decent relationship with most folks, we can, we're like, hey man, look, if they're looking for a DJ, lights, photo booth, boom, send them over here. If they're looking for a photographer, I'm gonna send them over there. If they're looking for a videographer and I know you're here, and you're, whatever, boom. Most times, obviously, if you hit me up, I'm gonna be like, call Thomas. That's like my first default. But if you're a planner or cake baker, or even tuxedos, we get a lot of people that ask us about menswear. We get that all the time. So if somebody we know there, hey, go check out Miguel if he's at a show, or whoever. So that's also good, networking and just kind of back and forth. But I think again, like I said, I think there's a shift in the market with the shows. But I still think they are, for the most bang for your buck, especially if you're just getting started, a great way to network. Meet couples. And then I'll be honest with you, the main reason we still do shows is because as a DJ, I cannot convey to you personality over a piece of paper.
Nope.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So like, you know, we may not be DJing right then, but part of DJing at your event or your wedding or whatever, it's not about the music that you play. It's about the personality and making a connection. So that's why we still do
blogs,
Blogs,
websites, and
okay,
blogs.
okay,
And
okay.
utilizing that. So one thing about blogs, and I don't do blogs, but I did do them when I was doing my YouTube channel. And it
Now
was
we
just
talking like just you submitting to blogs, or we talking about you actually like blogging
Oh
on
yeah,
your
I wasn't
website?
even thinking about that. Submitting to blogs is really a good way,
Yeah.
too. So
I mean, I hear a lot of photographers talk about that. I mean,
yeah,
I don't do that,
No, well,
obviously.
Well, with the video too, they'll add the
videos have
video
done
as
this and
well.
stuff, right?
What
Yeah.
a lot of people don't realize is that they'll put the blog on their website and they'll put Kate and John's wedding, right? But you really have a really good opportunity there, depending on what the elements were at the wedding or the theme of the wedding, to really bank in on SEO there, and people don't realize it. So instead of just making a blog with what I say,
Regular
Kate
name,
and John's
yeah.
wedding, you can put the most beautiful rustic wedding you've ever seen,
right.
and people who are looking for rustic weddings
That'll show up. For
will
them.
show up on that. I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm my notes here.
Blowing up over here.
And I have my sound. I'm sorry about that, guys. Let me cut off my sound and my timer too. So when you're using blogs, my suggestion would be make sure your branding is really powerful and has a big, powerful presence in each of those paragraphs, so that you're remembered. Because a lot of people go to blogs to get information
and they
go.
leave. Yeah, exactly.
And so you really want those pictures to look really nice, and the information you put there to be kind of relevant.
And you also put on that blog, do you also put some like contact information about
definitely
how to reach us or something like that? Okay, all right, cool.
So one of the secrets, should I be telling my secrets
Yes,
on my website?
tell them to me.
All right, so if you look on my current website, I'm actually, is there a way to do it? Because I know I'm changing my website in January. Right now, as we're filming this, we're in December. And right now, if you go on the front page of my website, for every wedding video I have there, I have wedding videos on my front page. I read an article probably like 5 years ago at Forbes, and it says like landing pages that have videos on it have, I think, it was something like 5. You could probably find the article. If I find the article, I'll put it in the description of the video on the podcast. But I think it has 500% less bounce rate or something like that.
Oh, wow,
if you have a video on the front page. So I have videos, all my wedding videos on my front page of my website, and I have all the vendors' names at the bottom of those videos. So when people are searching for those vendors,
Now they come up there too.
my website
Wow.
pops too, and that's why I hit on the first page for a lot of, and I'm giving you guys my secrets.
That's pretty good.
Right now, you guys are gonna take over if you're videographers in Atlanta. Pinterest, people are using a lot of that for searches.
Yeah. That's one of those ones that I think people kind of sleeping on. But
Yeah, Pinterest is a
definitely
powerful search,
super powerful.
too, especially when people go to images on Google.
Yeah.
Most of those images, especially when it comes to weddings, are coming from Pinterest. And if you have a big, I'm not sure if you know, I made a Pinterest profile. I just took like 3 days, and I just made a whole Pinterest profile. I put like suits for my wedding. I put a few of my wedding videos, hundreds of dresses, and just put my website at the end of like each one. And I actually booked like 2 weddings.
Oh, wow,
from
really?
doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
wow,
did that like last year. At the end of last year, I did it, and I booked like 2 weddings from just making a Pinterest.
Yeah.
And that goes back to my point of, I think you should be on every popular. Like, I'm not on Tumblr. Right,
Yeah,
I'm not on
right,
Tumblr,
right. I mean,
but like
you know,
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter,
Twitter, yeah.
But I did get rid of Facebook.
YouTube, yeah,
I'm not sure if we're ready to talk about that yet, but
I think we're ready to talk.
we're ready to
I think
talk about
we're
the
ready to
Facebook.
go into why you
let's
jumped off.
make sure. Did we hit all of our social media ones? Well, let's talk about the brick and mortar places first, and then we'll go back to that.
Okay.
So like you talked about like David's Bridal,
Right.
and I was part of Anya Bridal. There's different ways you can be a part of it. What to know about those places, I guess, in my experience, is some of those people aren't expecting to be contacted.
You could say that again.
through
say that
those,
again,
and the way that the brick and mortar or the bridal boutiques get those names is when people come in and they sign They make them
And
all
register,
sign
make
in
them
and register. And they have at the bottom of the little clipboard or whatever they're signing and registering on, they say that you may be contacted by our
right.
partners, affiliates and partners. So that's how those come. So but it is a good way. I did book one wedding.
So you're no longer part of that?
No, I don't
Okay,
do anything but Instagram and YouTube right now.
So
because
we did David's for maybe like 3 years, maybe even longer.
And my website,
I
yeah.
want to say 3 years. Yeah, we did it, and I mean, we did it was like a by store basis, right? So Anya only has one store, but David's has obviously hundreds throughout the And in Atlanta, they may have like, I don't know, 15 stores. So I think at one point we even had 2 stores that we
okay, nice.
that we had. So we had tons of leads coming in.
Now, did you book any through those
So
leads?
again, it was just kind of like what we were talking with, like Wedding Wire.
Yeah.
The Knot, like it's like anything to a certain price point, and then once you kind of surpass that price point, it was kind of like not really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it is an option,
it's a
so
great-
you
it's a
can
great
reach out to
option,
bridal shops.
But
Yeah.
the difference between like what you had at Anya and what we had at David's
Yeah.
is that you were bartering, which is super smart. You are bartering services for that. We were paying.
Okay.
So if we got a planner or a florist or something that's watching, they may not be able to barter, and they may just be in a position where they just have to pay.
Yeah.
Just know that pay can be substantial. In the grand scheme of things, if you're just starting out. I mean, when I had 2 stores, I was paying almost $500 a month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're locked into a contract.
Yeah.
So you do that times 12. That's $6,000.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
now, but was it beneficial to a certain? We said to a certain price point.
To a certain degree.
And you mean
when I had the one
client
store
budget?
Yeah, we were rocking and rolling. I can't really complain. Like I definitely made that money back. Once we jumped to 2, and our prices also jumped. So it's also about pricing.
Yeah.
Right? It's also about pricing and where you are in the market, and also where you're at for that clientele. Right. Then it was just like this isn't really a good value anymore for us.
Yeah.
So but not knocking it.
And
but
another thing is David Bridal or
and
Anya and
everybody's
stuff.
price is different.
Yeah.
Everybody's price is different. Not saying ours
Yeah.
is super high, so don't want anybody to think
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what that means.
No.
But it's everybody's got a price point.
Yeah. But I will say both of our price points are not at entry level DJ or entry level videographer.
Right.
And for me, at the bridal shows, once I got past like that entry level price, it didn't work for me.
I can see that.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about Facebook.
Yeah. So let's talk about it.
My Facebook experience. I'll put this mic a little bit closer to talk about Facebook.
It's getting serious, folks. It's getting serious in here.
All right, so my Facebook experience is pretty much through a personal one. And I felt like when I was putting my videos on Facebook.
So
Okay,
can I just stop really
yeah,
quick?
yeah.
So are you saying that you got rid of your
Personal
page?
everything.
And did you
And
have
business.
a personal and a business?
Yeah, I had like 4 business pages because
Right. So you got rid of
everything,
all of them.
personal. You had the option to delete. I deactivated mine just in case I change my mind later, like I always do. But mine has been gone, I think, for about a month now.
Okay.
So I'll give you. Let's talk from the business side of Facebook. From the business side of Facebook, I would get lots of inquiries when I was consistent on Facebook. Once Instagram came and I started seeing I got a lot more, it goes back to what I was saying. Put your time where
you're getting the
where you're
results
getting
from.
the most results from. So I stopped really being as consistent, and when I even was being consistent, I would get a lot of just feelers.
Okay.
Mainly. Now, as far as Facebook at a personal level, I just didn't really like it. It was much more political, politics, people arguing and things. And every time I got on Facebook, I could never just. I feel like on Instagram, I have a more positive experience, a more happy place.
Yeah.
And then on Facebook, okay, let me get past all the people who hate whatever politician.
Right. Yeah.
And then let me,
this week. Yeah. I agree.
And so it was just much more negative.
Okay.
And so I was like, I thought about it for a while. And now here's the thing. Your business page has to be tied to like a personal page, which I don't think is a mistake. because they'd be like, I want to get rid of my personal page but keep my business page. Nope, can't do it.
Can't do it.
Because they want you to stay on that Facebook.
Yeah.
So I just didn't kind of like the mentality behind it.
Okay.
So I said, and I know Instagram is actually part of them, but I think they kind of keep things separate. I think. I'm not sure. Well, is it? At least it feels.
but I mean, I think the lines are starting to blur a little bit.
Yeah.
You know.
So, but I left Facebook because after I seen I couldn't get rid of my personal page and keep my business page, I don't think I want to be part of this social media network anymore.
Yeah.
It wasn't really bringing me any value.
Right.
Every time I was on there, I just kind of felt negative when I was actually searching through it.
Right, yeah.
So I just deactivated everything, and this happened like a month ago, and
Okay.
I don't regret it at all. Like I said, but like today, a wedding planner messaged me and said, Thomas, I was trying to tag you on Facebook.
So here's my perspective,
Yeah.
right?
Okay,
So
go ahead.
I think that I agree with you. I think Facebook has definitely, for me, gotten a lot more convoluted, right? You can't just jump on and just check on a buddy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I definitely don't. I think once I got really into Instagram, I was
Yeah.
kind of like,
Bye,
I'm out
Facebook,
Facebook.
yeah.
But we still keep the Exquisite Sounds, Facebook page, and we try to post regularly there. And I'm actually trying to post more, like more of our our wedding recaps or whatever. I'm trying to post more of that stuff there, so it actually mirrors what we have on YouTube. The other part about it is kind of what we were talking about, ways to kind of market your business, like with the like the Facebook and the Instagram ads, right? Like I want to be able to run ads on both.
Yeah.
Because the difference with Instagram is like from a personal level, my mom didn't join Instagram until maybe 6 months ago. But she absolutely runs around like a mad woman on Facebook.
On Facebook.
You see what I'm saying?
well.
And I have plenty of mothers that either inquire or they pay
Yeah.
for our
Oh, yeah.
services.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So I know they're still on Facebook because they haven't quite jumped on the Instagram bandwagon. So, I kind of see it from both sides. Like I see it from both sides.
Yeah.
But,
And I totally get it. And I'm all for it. And
Yeah.
for years, I've been preaching you should be on every social media network. But
Yeah.
like I said, it was just a personal
Yeah, I
experience
get
for me
it.
that
I
I
get it.
just didn't want to be linked to Facebook anymore.
All
And I
right.
know they bought Instagram, everything,
Well,
but
I
I
won't
like
tag you on
Instagram and even I mean, you could put hashtag, I guess,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
But and that's one thing. I never wanted to make it hard for people
To find you.
to tag me or make it frustrating. Like the wedding planner shouldn't have had to do that. But I just really don't feel like I want to be on there. Like if I could just use YouTube, because YouTube has stories now.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, they just introduced stories, like Instagram stories. To YouTube,
Like-
right now you have to have 30,000 subscribers to
Oh,
have,
wow,
but they'll
okay.
roll. I mean,
Yeah,
it
they're
was the
gonna
same
eventually
thing.
roll that
yeah,
out.
to
Yeah,
everyone.
Yeah. Okay.
But then if they had pictures on YouTube as well, well, you
Man.
can put pictures, but it's not as easy to get to on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like I wish YouTube on the app had a tab where you could either look at pictures
Or video.
or video.
Yeah.
And it looked just like Instagram. If they had that, I would just be on YouTube.
Especially with the fact that videos are like unlimited, I guess, as
Yeah.
far as time on YouTube. Yeah, that
Yeah.
would be kind of hot.
And
Yeah,
so,
that'd be kinda hot.
since I got into minimalism, I really started putting my time into things that brought me the most value
Gotcha.
in life and brought me the most positivity.
Gotcha.
As well.
Gotcha.
You can do press releases. You definitely want to network and do referrals, tell people about your business and what you're doing. What's another topic? Bridal shows.
Bridal shows, yep.
Especially when you're just starting out. I think
Yep.
and the wedding websites, I would love to talk to some more established people who are maybe photographers and wedding planners and caterers and cake makers and see if the higher priced people still get a lot of people from the Wedding Wire and the Knot. I'm really curious and just to see if it's not. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a great.
So,
That's a great conversation. I had never really, especially on some of those other.
because it's really hard to
ways.
ask people about what they're doing, especially we mostly only see people at weddings, and then
Yeah.
if we do see them at something that's not a wedding, it's going to be like not a networking event, like some like extravaganza or something that we're just dancing and kind of mingling, and you don't
Right.
want to really talk about work. So there's really no way to ask people what they're doing and what their experience
Right.
is in the
Yeah.
wedding industry. It's so hard.
Yeah, it is. It can be a little closed off, but
Yeah.
again, I think those are some great points.
Yeah.
I think if you always wanted to hit Thomas up, or even me, if you had some questions for myself, you can always feel free to hit us up and let us know, help how we can.
Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed listening in today, consider subscribing to the podcast. See you next time.